It's time to talk everyone's favorite topic, Best Picture Nominees. How's it going, everybody? Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are finally sitting down, talking brass tacks, and ranking every single Best Picture nominee from worst to best. Now, I do want to make a few clarifications here. First off, worst to best, they're all great movies. My number 10 movie, I rated an 87 out of 100. I like all of these movies. I think really in the end what it comes down to is preference. Do I rate some movies higher than others? There's no bad marks here. My number 10, I love. My number 1, I love. So I want to make that clear off the front. This is just my personal ranking of how I would rank the 10 movies. Other than that, the Oscars are on tomorrow night when you guys are watching this. So go down below in the comments and let me know, who do you think's taking home the big prize? I think we all have a pretty good idea, but I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think any surprises are going to happen? I don't know. I think this is probably one of the more clear-cut Oscars that we've had in a long time, except for Best Actress. I think that one is going to be very interesting. But without further ado, before I get into it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, all the things you do on YouTube. But let's just get into it. Look, I've reviewed a majority of these movies on my channel already in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not going to do full-on 5-10 minute reviews on each movie, but I will give you little bite-sized snippets on why I like all of these movies. The first movie at number 10, Poor Things. Yorgos Lanthimos, Emma Stone, the dynamic duo. They were on the cover of, I believe it was Variety, with that tag, the dynamic duo, and they really are. When they get together, they're two of, I believe, the most eccentric minds in Hollywood, and I think this movie, in general, really shows that. It is stunning what they were able to accomplish, especially on the technical side with the set design, the costume design, overall, just the overall conceptual filmmaking and storytelling, I think is all really well done here. I think that watching Emma Stone's character evolve throughout this movie is Oscar-worthy work. And I think that this film in particular has every right and every reason to be nominated for Best Picture. Again, it comes down to just personal preference. I really like this movie. I think it is very weird and wacky, and therefore I might not always want to rewatch it, unlike some of these other movies. But that doesn't mean I don't like the movie. I rated it an 87 out of 100. This is a very well-made movie, and it deserves to be here, and it deserves to be in the conversation. Coming in number 9, though, is Anatomy of a Fall. This one also is tough to have at the bottom of the list because I like it so much. I gave this one an 88 out of 100. This is just pure storytelling, I think, at its finest, where every little small detail weaves together into this long web of story. And I think that this is probably one of the tightest scripts of the year. I think that the courtroom, second half of the movie in the courtroom is absolutely thrilling. I think that everything leading up to it, the way that the story is structured is so well done. And Huller is incredible. Sandra Huller is so good in this role. She has her Oscar-worthy moments, and I think that she deserves all the praise that she has gotten so far in the award cycle, and that really is a testament to how strong of an actor she is, because we're about to talk about another movie that she's in also that deserves the praise. But long story short, I think this is an incredibly well-crafted movie that lives in the details and that leaves you wondering till the very end, did she do it or did she not? Let me know in the comments. Do you think she did it or did she not? I want to hear your guys' thoughts. But I really enjoyed this one. I gave it an 88 out of 100, and it's down at number 9 on my list. But again, this is still a pretty damn good movie. I'm not going to lie to you. I really enjoyed it. Coming in number 8, we were just talking about Sandra Hüller. We're going to talk about her again. The Zone of Interest. This movie, I gave it a 90 out of 100. Talk about a chilling film. Everyone is talking about the sound design in this movie. And here I am also talking about the sound design in this movie. It is the most haunting use of sound all year in film. All year. It is the most haunting use of sound because you know what's happening behind those walls, but you never see it. But you can hear it, and that is chilling and horrifying, and it makes your skin crawl. Like, the technical in this movie is incredible. I think the set design is fantastic. I think the sound design is the best of the year. I think the cinematography and how they compose the shots, how they move the camera is some of the best of the year, in my opinion. I think the performances here are incredibly layered, and they are very chilling at times, very heartbreaking at times. I think Sandra Hüller again delivers in this movie in particular. I left that theater kind of awestruck and with my breath taken because this movie was just so chilling, and it left me just at a loss of words. It really does deserve to be in this conversation. I'm glad we have 2 non-English language films in this category this year, and they both deserve it. They're both fantastic, and The Zone of Interest comes in number 8 on my list. Now, coming in at number 7 is American Fiction. This is actually the film I just watched to finish watching all 10. I never got around to it in the theater. I ended up watching it I ended up renting it and watching it here in my apartment. But this was the last one I needed to see before I could make this list, and I literally walked out here, turned on my camera, and I am filming with you right now. I also gave American Fiction a 90 out of 100, and it's very different from The Zone of Interest. I really enjoyed what this film was saying. It was saying about artists and how consumers interpret art, and how white consumers interpret art, especially from black artists and authors and filmmakers. And I thought that was a very interesting idea that they delved into. It is satirical, it is funny, it is heartbreaking at times. It's got really great emotion. It also follows this family dynamic, which I think could have used some more, maybe a little more characterization. I felt like the family dynamic was a little surface level, but when we got to the actual book and everything that was happening on that front, I thought it was incredibly interesting. And I think what Cord Jefferson did writing-wise, again, I think that this is another one of the tightest scripts of the year, along with Anatomy of the Fall. What Cord Jefferson is able to do both behind the camera and in the writing is very thought-provoking and incredibly well done, and I thought it was very well written. And I really, really liked what they were trying to say, because they're not wrong. They're not wrong. So I really thought that this was a very poignant film. I think the performances here are fantastic. I love Jeffrey Wright in this role. He is perfect for this character, and I think that he embodied him so well. Sterling K. Brown is a standout here as well. I know that everyone was praising his performance. I think he was fantastic. I would encourage you all to go watch this movie. I think that it is a very well thought out, constructed, and written film that is directed extremely well and has really good performances. And it's very thought provoking, and I hope that you watch this and you take something from it. I certainly did. I thought it was very well done. And it comes in at number 7 on my list. Coming in at number 6 is Maestro. I gave this one a 92 out of 100 on my ranking, and I enjoyed the hell out of this. I think Bradley Cooper has continued to prove and show why he is one of the most talented creatives in Hollywood. And I'm not just talking acting, I'm talking directing, I'm talking writing, I'm talking all of it. He is one of the most interesting and creatives in Hollywood, I think. first, as Leonard Bernstein, he's phenomenal. His performance is incredible, and it deserves the praise that it's getting. I think it is Oscar worthy. It's not going to win, but I think that it definitely deserves to be in the conversation. But Cooper as a director, I think, really thrives here. I think that that's what people need to be talking about, is Cooper behind the camera, because I think that this is such a well shot and well choreographed movie. And I think that, of course, everyone's talking about the church sequence, the 6-7 minute one take sequence of Cooper directing, which is, it left my jaw on the floor when I saw it in the theater. I was absolutely awestruck by that sequence. But I think it's the delicate moments and the smaller moments too that really pack a punch as well. And we really learn about this incredibly flawed man, and at the core, the relationship that kept him going, for years and years and years. I think Carey Mulligan is absolutely incredible in this movie. I think it's one of her career best, and I think that this is one of those musical biopics that I think transcends. We get a lot of these musical biopics nowadays that follow a lot of the same story beats, but this one I think transcends that just a little bit more. That's at least my opinion. But I gave it a 92 out of 100. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And it comes in at number 6 on my list. Coming in at number 5 is Past Lives. What can I really say about it? I also gave this one a 92 out of 100, but I think it edges out Maestro. Celine's song is so good. I think both in the writing and the directing, the execution of the direction, it's like Maestro in the way that it's so delicate in these small moments. And I think that examining relationships as a whole, like that's really what this movie is doing, is examining relationships as a whole, and how you have a relationship and then you fall off and then you don't talk to them for a long time and then you rekindle that maybe in the future. But it's the what if. It's the wondering what if that I think is so, it really hits me hard in the feels. You always think the what if. I think that's so well thought out and executed here, and it's so well shown, especially around the end of the movie when we get to New York and we get all three of them together. I think they're fantastic. Greta Lee is so great. She's the emotional backbone of this movie, but the rest of the performances are fantastic as well. I fell in love with this movie, and I think you will too if you've not seen it already, and I know that everyone that has seen it loves it as well. I think this movie absolutely deserved to be a Best Picture nominee. People were pegging it from Sundance 2023 that it would be a Best Picture nominee. I was jealous I didn't get to see it. I got to see it later in the summer when it came out in theaters, but it's one of the best movies of the year. It was in my top 15 of the year. I gave it a 92 out of 100, and it definitely deserves to be in the Oscar conversation. Coming in at number 4 is Killers of the Flower Moon. I gave this one a 95 out of 100 on my ranking. It falls at number 7 on the year for me. Martin Scorsese knows how to direct a movie. We know this already. But then you let him direct this big, bold Western with huge sets, larger-than-life characters, and a story that is one of the most tragic stories that I don't think people know enough about in the history of America. I already covered Marty. He's damn good at what he does, and we already know that. I've come to accept Leonardo DiCaprio's performance. Again, I don't think I love it, but I've come to accept it. I can kind of understand. I've listened to a lot of videos and read a lot of reviews and articles about Leo, and about Killers of the Flower Moon. I've come to understand and respect the performance, but that doesn't mean I love the performance any way, shape, or form. But Robert De Niro is fantastic. And my queen, Lily Gladstone, who I have been saying since I did my review that she should win Best Actress, she just won the SAG the other night from when I'm recording this. And she's got a damn good shot at taking down Emma Stone. And I have said since the beginning, if I had an Oscar ballot, I would vote for Lily Gladstone because she is absolutely phenomenal in this movie. She's not big and bold and has these huge moments. It's the small, delicate, tame moments that she has in this movie that absolutely pierce your heart and make you feel horrible in the best way. She deserves the Oscar. And if I had a ballot, I would vote for Lily Gladstone for Best Actress. I would. I think she's phenomenal in this movie. It's vast. It's bold. It's over 3 hours long. It's an absolute American epic that shows horrible things that people did to the Osage. And it is a story that needs to be told. And I've said this since I did my original review. It's an important story. It is a story that will transcend. It's a story that needs to be told because things like this are still happening now in 2024. Which is crazy to me, but it's still happening. This film is incredible. Like I said, I gave it a 95 out of 100. It was my number 7 movie of the year. And it comes in on this list at number 4 on the list. Now, I just made this change right before I pressed record. I don't know if I'm going to love it or I'm going to hate this change down the line, but I just need to get down right now and just think about this. I'm going to do it. Coming in at number 3 is Barbie. So just for a little context, I gave this a 98 out of 100. It was my number 2 film of the year on my list at the end of the year. But I got to knock it down a notch. The more I think about it, I think it comes in at number 3. But again, 98 out of 100, number 2 film of the year for me. I still think it's a phenomenal film. I still think it's so good. I think Greta Gerwig's a genius. I think Margot Robbie was born to play this character. I think Ryan Gosling was born to play his character. American Ferrera's monologue is one of the most important things we got from last year. And I'm not saying, I legitimately mean that. American Ferrera's monologue about how hard it is to be a woman is one of the most important things to come out of 2023. I totally mean that because it's true. I need to take a breath. I adore this movie. I do. I adore this movie. I adore everything about it. It is fantastic. Set design is awe-inspiring. Costume design, the way that they did the costume design around the Barbie outfits is incredible. The performances are great. Like I said, Greta Gerwig is a genius. Her and Noah Baumbach with the writing are fantastic. This movie is great. It's a great movie, and I love it. And I'm so glad that I have it at number 3 on my list. It deserves all the love. Well, it didn't really get any Oscar love at all. It didn't, because in the end, it is a bigger blockbuster movie. I still think it should have gotten more Oscar love, but as you'll see with my number 1, there is a film that I think is going to get all of the love that I think deserves it. But I love Barbie. I do. It's a great movie, and it comes at number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list, what did I switch out Barbie with? You already know, because there's only 2 left. It's The Holdovers. The more I think about this movie, the more I absolutely fall in love with it. I really do. At the end of the year, I gave it a 95 out of 100. It was number 6 on my list. I think that's going to change upon a rewatch. I've watched it twice now. I absolutely adore it. I think it's incredible. It's a great movie. I think we got to talk about this cast more because the cast in general is so good. Divine Joy Randolph. She's going to win Best Supporting Actress, and she deserves it. Dominic Sessa deserves to be in the conversation. He's not, but he deserves to be in the conversation. And Paul Giamatti, any other year would win Best Lead Actor. He would. Any other year. We're about to talk about the clear frontrunner and winner in a second, but any other year, Giamatti would deserve Best Actor. This is a heartbreaking movie. It is a hopeful movie. It is a movie about outcasts banding together and making their own family, and it's about human connection. It's about love. It's about loving others and being a nice person. That's what this movie really is about. And I fell in love. I did. I love the holiday vibe. It's got you get a nice cozy fuzzy feeling inside when you watch this movie. It's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. There's so many emotions that come out of this movie, but it's such an incredible piece of filmmaking. I think Alexander Payne did a fantastic job. The performances are great. The writing is so good. This movie's fantastic, and I think it just had to take number 2 spot. It did. So it comes in number 2 on my list. Okay, it's time to talk about number 1. I'm not really going to talk much about it because I've rambled on for probably hours at this point now. Oppenheimer's number 1. It's going to win. It's going to sweep. Oppie sweep incoming. Killing's going to win. RDJ's going to win. Nolan's winning director for the first time. Yeah, I'm not going to ramble on much about this one. I've got multiple videos talking about this movie, so go check those out. But it's incredible. It's a movie unlike anything I've seen. It's pure filmmaking at its finest. The direction's impeccable. The performances across the board are perfect. 100. It's my favorite film of the year. It's slowly but surely turned into one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think it deserves all the credit it's getting because it really is a true cinematic marvel. And the fact that it is getting all the love that it deserves makes me feel really good because it deserves the love that it's getting, and it's going to win a lot of La La Land. I think that will be a bigger shock than Moonlight over La La Land. That's just my opinion because I don't think we've ever seen a bigger runaway ever than Oppenheimer. That's just my opinion, but what do I know? So that's it. That's my list. Let me know. Like I said, Poor Things down at 10, Anatomy of the Fall at 9. I still love those movies. I think they're really good. I think all 10 of these movies deserve to be in the conversation, and they are all absolutely fantastic. They all have very important things to say. They've all got great performances and direction. The writing on all of these is all really good. This is what we do. We rank. We make lists. This is how it goes. And Oppenheimer's at number 1, and we all already knew that, though. So I don't know why it was a surprise. But that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite movie of the top of the Best Picture nominees? And in the end, this really is my list of my favorites. I'm not listing quality. I'm more listing, they're in order of my favorites. That's really what it is. But again, it's like ranking your children. You can't, except like the straight A student going to Harvard is Oppenheimer. But like I digress. Let me know your favorite down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe. You do all the things that you do on YouTube. I don't want to ramble on about that stuff. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Do that right now. That's all cool. I put all my new release reviews over there. Go follow my second channel. It's linked down in the description. You already know what to do. I appreciate you all so much. Have fun watching the Oscars. I'll be locked in. I'm working, but then I'm going to race home and watch the ceremony once it starts. Have fun. Make sure you tweet me, Instagram me, whatever, with your reactions. I want to see them. Thank you all so much. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.